Hey everyone, and welcome to season 2 of Death in Cambodia, Life in America, a podcast where I sit down with my father, Robert Chow, a survivor of one of the biggest genocides in modern history, the Khmer Rouge. He escaped to America with $10 in his pocket and built a distributing company, one of the largest donut distributors in the US. How exactly did a poor, starving boy from Cambodia build an empire and achieve his American dream? I'm Dorothy, his daughter, and your host for today's episode. Let's dive in. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Death in Cambodia, Life in America. So I am here with Robert. It is another recording day, and last we left off, we were talking about Robert now focusing on the company B&H Bakery Distributors. It is based out of Northern California. He's still living in Southern California, but he's driving back and forth 5 days a week up in NorCal and a few days down in SoCal, trying to figure out and trying to grow this distribution company. So, Ba, welcome back.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Yes, I knew.
I think it's definitely different from what you've been focusing on so far, right? Like you've spent probably the past 15 years, was it? Kind of building on retail?
I said, maybe 10
years.
10 years, yeah.
10 years focusing on retail and donut shops, leasing, dabbling in some, Baskin Robbins and all these different food trucks. Kind of getting thrown into this new kind of business, but you were very excited about it because you saw the future in it.
I think from the retail donut shop that I built and travel and know all the people that I think, so the distributor, I believe it's probably a good future because I think most doesn't speak. So I think I pretty exciting to maybe helping them, easy, to get the supply from B&H because, we all speak.
Right. Let's talk about the first couple years of trying to build this, because from what I remember, B&H really was not very big up in Northern California. You this branch of it because it was based out of Southern California?
Based out of Southern California.
Right.
This was a search, and then so I took over because, it's start with us one small try to
and one driver.
And
I'm assuming salespeople. How many people?
Salespeople.
You were the salesperson.
I was a salesperson, and one girl, do the sales too, just calling from the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there, tried to, to the donut shop owner, Cambodian.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I still live to Northern California, and then I stay for 5 days, and then
go back down.
On Friday night after we finish the order, because we have to hold the order, put everything ready for Monday delivery.
So, yeah, how did you guys have like a warehouse? Did you have to go find one? Your drivers, and this was a different kind of industry from what you were in. Was it hard for you?
Well, I just anything else, if you really, really want it bad enough, I don't think you feel it's hard at all because you got your goal, and then you see and you believe yourself that you're gonna make it. You just I don't feel any uh, hard at all, really.
But
I was enjoy it.
There must have been some really, really hard days. Do you remember in the first couple of years, like what were some of the hardest days that you had experienced?
From the beginning, it's tough. I thought go out there and talk to the customer and specialists in your own community, and it's gonna a lot easier than just go ahead and sell to big bakery and like the Spanish bakery, and I don't even speak the language. I don't know the culture. I thought it was easy, but that's not true. It was hard. I mean, because in Cambodian community, it's not really tried to really exciting see our own people that
successful.
No, not successful. I mean, selling, try to support each other. In other words, they're not. They just look down at you. They just said, "Hey, I'm buy from this company." It's they look at your company is too small. Maybe the service is not good. But I think we didn't have problem with the service at all, because at that time there's only one truck operating.
So if you are not Cambodian American and you are listening to this podcast, you're probably wondering what exactly my dad's talking about. So it's kind of well known within the Cambodian community that a lot of the people who had come out of the Khmer Rouge, and that entire generation, in fact, are not really, really good at supporting each other. In fact, there is this kind of stigma within our own community that we always never allow each other to be successful. There's this mentality, and we like to call it crabs in a bucket mentality. And you can look this up on Google. But basically what it means is that if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, none of the crabs will actually get out, because all the crabs, anytime they see somebody going up and getting a little bit higher, they would in fact drag that crab back down. And essentially what it means is that we never allow our own people to get any higher than the person next to us. And essentially that stunts the growth of the community. This is a really, really big statement, I know. And I know that if you didn't grow up within the community, and again, I'm not saying this is everybody, and definitely not within the second generation, but I haven't met one other Cambodian American who doesn't know what I'm talking about when I talk about this. A good example that my dad likes to bring up to me is supermarkets in Long Beach, California. So Long Beach is the city in Southern California that has the highest population of Cambodian Americans and Cambodian refugees within the US. And I think the third is Lowell in Massachusetts. Robert always talks about how back in the day, there were tons of Cambodian supermarkets all around Long Beach. And slowly but surely, they just started shutting down because none of the Cambodian people would be going to their own supermarkets. They would much rather be going to the Vietnamese market that was right next door. Eventually, the people didn't have their own supermarkets to go to, and it was a really, really sad thing for my father to see. And this is just an example, one example, because you can think about different other communities that have their own supermarkets, like, Koreans with H Mart and Latinos with Chavez and Cardenas and all the other different facets of cultures that really have pride in their supermarkets and really put a stake in the ground for their own community. It's just always been something that our own community has lacked. I think the reason why our community is like this has to do with the fact that this generation in particular had survived the Khmer Rouge, an area and a time period where they were in survivor mode and they could not trust their neighbor. And then after 3.5, 4 years of living a genocide that they never asked for, that they never expected would happen in their own country, they left the country and with it left trust in their own people. Let's get back to the episode, but I just wanted to quickly go over what Robert was talking about. I hope in the future that I'll be able to actually bring in experts to talk about this topic. The moment that you kind of started to feel that way, was it from the very beginning that you started noticing this about the Cambodian culture?
Yes. Yeah, you start feel from the beginning because and then yeah, I was disappointed a little bit, but then I gonna try my best. I gonna do my best to prove it, to prove to them, and then at the same time we have to lower the price very low to just let them open their eyes. I know they're not gonna just support B&H because of the community. No, they probably open their eye because of the price. When you way down, even the same price, same product, same price. Paper good is paper good, right? Sugar is a sugar. We buy from C&H, but why not buying from us? Support our Cambodian community. No, they not. They just rather to buy from the other company.
Bigger companies like
Bigger company.
bigger American companies, yeah.
And even it's the same price, same sugar, same product.
Why do you think that is?
Jealousy, it's so big. They don't want to see their own people, their own community grow, do better than them, and then that's kind of jealousy. Jealousy is good. I think look at a lot of people. They look and say, "Oh, why you doing so well? I want to learn from you." Now Cambodian, a lot of people know when they're jealous, they just want to see you're down, you're suffer. That kind of jealousy.
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from because I feel like I was born here in America and maybe I'm not in the culture enough, but I think maybe it's because of the Khmer Rouge. I had started some discussions with some people about how maybe that's the reason why, because during the Khmer Rouge, you couldn't support one another. And if you couldn't talk to one another, you couldn't trust anybody, you couldn't trust your own people, your own government, your own community. And so maybe that just was something that got instilled into the people.
Because, it proved that, even in Long Beach, I think, a lot of Cambodian community live in Long Beach, and then they have the grocery store, Cambodian grocery store. And later on, I think, they have a Vietnamese grocery store and Chinese grocery store. But most of them support the Vietnamese grocery store and then to the, Chinese grocery store. They don't really want to go to Cambodian, grocery store. I think, not all, but what they should do, they should just go ahead and support the Cambodian.
So this is something that we see all throughout. And so when you were starting B&H, you noticed it right away. How did you just kind of told yourself, okay, you know what, I'm going to push through it anyway, and I'm going to try my best?
No, because I think, this year I will, yes. That's what I had in mind. I said, I gonna make it. I gonna find a way. I gonna convince them and try to prove to them a little bit by a little bit, one by one, just continue to sell the product at a very low price and continue to explain about the product. And the big part that I really want to prove to them, when they need help, when they need something, need help, I try my best to be there to help them. The other company, no. The salesperson from a big company, they just go in here and sell, and that's it. And then plus, when they have the children birthday or, wedding and all, I try to support them to show up to to support. Because other company, no, I mean, they don't care about your children's birthday or wedding or whatever. And that's why people getting by from B&H more and more. But some people, when you see B&H grow up, and then they start
to pull back.
That
was within the first couple of years.
It's in a couple of years, yes, when they start B&H.
Because after you I'm sure you started to grow. You started to grow. And
then, it continued to grow.
What was the rate that it was growing at?
We start from one truck, and then, after 3 years, and then we have 2, 3 truck. Then the warehouse, I think up to 5 to 7 years, I think we have 5 truck. And then the warehouse is getting small. I think we only rent that space, I believe, 5,000 square foot. So it was pretty small.
And you were handling all the negotiations.
I did.
Vendors and doing the sales and then doing all that. I can imagine that part of it is also hard too, because you're basically this small guy with not a whole lot of volume power that's trying to get the lowest price possible, because you need to have a low price, because that's the only way that the community will buy from you.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of pressure.
Not all, even that.
Yeah.
You probably only 30%. Yes. Yeah, it was tough. I was tough, but I didn't give up. I just continue. I said, I will make it. So that's all in my head. I'm going to try to find a way. I mean, we got everything. We speak the language. We know the culture. Sometimes I'm asking them, I said, why not buy from us, support us? I'm not asking you to buy the stuff that I sell higher than the other company. I mean, even the same price. But I think, after 7, 8 years, and then we moved to a bigger warehouse. So now, instead of renting it, so I bought the property.
What was your motivation behind this?
From the beginning, I'm sacrificed the family. I mean, we cannot just, go back home, see the kid. It's only half a day, drive back and forth for at least probably 3-4 years. So I gonna make it all the way through, because at this time here, I don't have too many donut shop, probably 10 left at the time. So, and then, being a distributor, this is my goal, to build it up to the next level. Because, California, all California donut shop is owned by Cambodian people. And that's a lot of shop. You're talking about maybe 5,000-6,000 locations in the state of California.
So the vision that you've always had from the beginning was the entire state of California.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I forward to.
For.
Yeah.
That was always your vision. That's
always my vision. Yes.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode this week. If you've been following me on social, you know that I accidentally, well, I don't know if it's an accident, but I got COVID after 2 years, so my nose is still a little bit stuffy, but I should be completely back by next week. I just wanted to pop on here and let you guys know that if you guys haven't done so already, and you guys have been enjoying the episode so far, please leave me a review. I know it's super annoying, and I sometimes really don't like it when podcasters ask me to do this, but to be honest, it really, really does help us out with the rankings, and I really want to try to get as many people to listen to this as possible. I think we have something really, really special here, and if you had been following along this entire time, you know how cool and awesome this whole experience has been. Hopefully, it has been for you, for the both of us. And if you can just kind of put it in a review, that would be even better. So, yes, whenever you have a quick second, please just go ahead and do that. All right. Thanks so much. And I will catch you guys next week.